This is a social studies unit made for fourth grade students, all about our state, Illinois, by Maureen Danaher and Ellen Lawrence. This unit is designed for fourth graders, focusing on social studies. They will learn about the history of Illinois, who and when it was discovered. They'll be introduced to interesting facts about Illinois, including the origin of the state's name, the original inhabitants, historical importance, important events, and a lot more. They'll really start to come to appreciate the different landmarks that they see around them and special characteristics that really makes Illinois what it is. Our fourth grade classroom is relatively small given the amount of students that are in our school. We have students between 9 and 10. At the beginning of the year, we do have some 8-year-olds. In the classroom, we have 21 students in the self-contained. We have 3 English language learner students who receives extra support from a parapro. We have 2 resource students that receive extra help for science and social studies from a resource teacher as well. Many of our students come from different backgrounds, religious beliefs, and most of them are middle income families from the suburbs. Looking at the history of Illinois and communities in general, they do have a bit of background knowledge, but just very at the surface. So it's just really important for us to do a pre-assessment prior to the unit to really understand where our students fall, where we need to differentiate, and also where we can push those students who beg for the rigorous lessons from day to day. We cover a wide variety of standards in this unit, both ELA and social studies standards. We are really focusing on creating those connections between finding the key ideas and details in a text and connecting them with historical events. With this, we're also using information, photos, videos, and really trying to make that connection to the larger picture of a specific event in history. Following up now with social studies standards, we have the students interpreting different types of maps of our state of Illinois, be able to explain the differences and how rules and laws have changed over time, and as well as the environmental changes made by those laws and people's decisions over the time. Okay, we've set some objectives for our fourth grade students. We not only want our students to identify Illinois on a map of the United States, but to take a step back and identify their continent and country on a world map as well. We want them to be able to outline the history of the state of Illinois and really pull out those important events that shaped our state for what it is now. To discuss the characteristics, including our geography, population, bordering states, and whatnot. Also be able to list the symbols, slogans, nicknames of the state of Illinois, and include any other important and interesting facts along the way. With this, we have some technology objectives, and one is to be able to navigate a web quest effectively using an iPad and a desktop computer. And then along with that, we have the students creating an iMovie presentation project at the very end of the unit. And so for them to be able to manage their time and create a accurate iMovie project. So for the teaching and learning strategies, we chose Robert Gaines' 9 events of instruction. We thought that fit really well with the unit. It does have 9 steps for this for the instruction. The first one goes as follows. We gain the student's attention. So that could either be through a fun game, activity, and in our case, we decided to show a couple different pictures of historical landmarks around Illinois and to see, who has seen them before and what kind of past experiences that they can draw from just those pictures. Following that is step number 2 is when you inform the students of the objectives. So here's when we let them know, okay, we're going to have you create an overall project at the end of our unit explaining, the history of Illinois. You need to be able to show me where it's on the map and so forth. Number 3 is stimulate a recall of prior learning. And this really works well with a pre-assessment piece, as we mentioned before, where we really kind of figure out what the working groups look like and where the differentiation needs to take place. Number 4 is to present the content. You can't really have a student create a whole assignment without the teacher guiding them through a lesson. So here's where you present the content, teach them a little bit about the background of Illinois and the landmarks and how those laws and rules have changed over time. Number 5 is to provide learning guidance. So a lot of our unit is self-guided for the students. They have to complete a web quest, 4 web quests actually over the course of the unit. But here's where we start to pull aside the students after each web quest or after each step and really try to check in with them and assure the quality of their work, their accuracy of their work, and to kind of clear up any areas that beg for attention. Number 6 is the performance task or the practice. So taking everything that they've learned and put it into practice. So here's really where we go from the WebQuest step to creating the iMovie project to put everything all together. Number 7 is similar to number 5, where we're providing the feedback to our students. So provide the feedback and saying, we need to have more information for X, Y, or Z, or hey, you've done a really great job. And that really does go a long way with students and adults. Having an idea of where you're at really can help solidify the content and have you continue working hard. Number 8 is to assess the performance. So assessing the performance task either in an exit slip, a formal test, pre-test, or in our case, our overall movie project, the iMovie project. So here we're assessing based on quality of information, the accuracy, being able to work well with the rest of the group, and so on. And number 9 is to enhance retention and transfer to the job. So that's really, it's the presentation piece. So presenting what they have learned to other students and helping them transfer that information from one student to the next and to create a long-lasting learning experience. Students will be using multiple technologies during this unit. The majority of the research will be done on the iPads and desktop computers. Desktop computers will be when we introduce and use the iMovie project. Along with that, we'll be using Google Slides and Docs. And students, to differentiate for them, we're going to have talk-to-text assistive technology. This is going to be a 7-day social studies unit. On day 1, I'm going to distribute a pre-assessment that really gathers information that will help us differentiate and create working groups. Days 2, 3, and 4 is when we're having the students complete their web quests. The web quests will focus on the different types of the history of Illinois, the symbols of Illinois, and so on and so forth. Day 3 is going to be a little bit different. We'll continue with the web quest, but now we're going to incorporate some other text materials to help with the research. Day 4 will be our last day of research for this unit. Instead of going down to the computer lab, we're going to do all of our research through the iPad, so pulling in another type of technology. Day 5 and 6 is when the students are going to be working on their iMovie project, creating it, editing it, and getting ready to show. And day 7 is when the students will present their iMovie presentation to the class and fill out a short questionnaire at the end, reviewing all the different things that went into this unit and how they enjoyed it. The web class will be provided in 3 ways to meet the needs of our students. They'll be prepared per tier. Word banks, specific resources, and a reduced amount of questions will be provided to those students who need it, along with assistive technologies like talk to text and text to speech will be available for our students. Here are a couple of examples of what the handouts will look like for the WebQuest, and these will be used during the WebQuest and will be modified for those different tiers. We have our states and symbols search, and then we also have a historical timeline where they write the date up at the top of the scroll, and they can draw or describe the event that is listed from that date on the bottom of the scroll. Very fun, user-friendly, and can be differentiated. We're going to have our students create an iMovie project that's going to cover everything that was listed on our WebQuest. So it'll have everything from this history of state of Illinois to its symbols, the slogans, the geography, and so forth. This project will be created in a group, and it's a mixed ability group. You can view the example of our students' sample here at this YouTube link. You can go ahead and type that in and view it if you wish. Here's what the online digital content will look like. It's an easy, user-friendly guide that will be used through Google Docs for our students, and it'll help guide them through the project and WebQuest. On here it has all different resources, what the final product should look like, what the sample handouts are, and learning objectives all listed on one page, and you're able to kind of click back and forth using the bookmark tool to be able to view any specific item on the list. To assure effectiveness of our lesson, we compared the unit to the SAMR model, and we've decided that the SAMR model fits mostly the redefinition level. So saying that using computer technology, we're able to do things like create an iMovie project that wouldn't be possible before or without the use of technology. And so now that they do have that use of technology, they're able to make a high quality professional video with the collaboration of a collection of students. Okay, and finally, at the end of the unit, we're going to have our students create an iMovie project that will be used as the final performance task. With that, we're going to be checking for quality and quality of the content, ability to work with others in a group, the ability to work with the technology, and overall engagement, organization, and creativity. With this, we're going to have the students present their iMovies to the class and then fill out a short questionnaire about their experience throughout the unit.